Sabbath, another day spent with you, Lord. Just thank you for all that you have done and all that you continue to do, Lord. Please help us just continue to stay safe and to be encouraging to one another, and just allow this AY to be successful and somebody get something from it. And just amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right, you guys. Welcome. I want to welcome everyone from YouTube, from Facebook, everyone who's watching, everyone who's on Zoom right now. I want to welcome you guys, and I want to thank you for just being a part every week, every other week, day in and day out. We have a lot of support, and we want to thank everyone for supporting us and being here with us during this time of transitioning and things changing. So this AY, we will focus on our awesome future leaders, our high schoolers who are graduating to class of 2020. So first we're going to go ahead and go into our family song service. And our family song service is going to be one song, of course, and maybe different people can chime in if everybody knows the song, and the song is going to be
Oh, How I Love Jesus.
Oh, How I Love Jesus. So anybody, so we'll start the first, we'll sing the first verse.
Yeah.
And then somebody would jump in and do the second verse. All right, so yeah. Lori,
are you going to be singing?
Okay, so I'm gonna switch over.
Okay. I love to hear, I love to sing His word, and it sounds like music in my ear, the sweetest sound I know. Anybody else?
Oh, I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus.
Oh, how I love, 'cause He first loved me.
Amen. Next verse. Did you look it up?
Oh, Sophie, do you love Jesus?
Sorry. Oh, yes, I love Jesus.
Are you sure you love Jesus?
I'm sure I love Jesus.
And why do you love Jesus?
This is why I love Jesus, because He first loved me. That's the reason we all are to love Him.
Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Me. Oh, as leaders love Jesus.
Oh, yes, I love Jesus.
Are you sure you love Jesus?
I'm sure I love Jesus.
And why do you love Jesus?
This is why I love Jesus.
Because He first loved me. The reason we all are to love Him. Oh, how I love Jesus. Singing. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. 'Cause He first loved me. Oh, Dion, do you love Jesus?
Oh, yes, I love Jesus.
Are you sure you love Jesus?
I'm sure I love Jesus.
And why do you love Jesus?
And why I love Jesus?
Because He first loved me. That's the reason we all are to love Him. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Because He first loved me. do you love Jesus? Are you sure you love Jesus?
I'm sure I love Jesus.
And how do you love Jesus?
Why I love Jesus.
Because he first loved me, that's
That's
the
the
reason.
reason we all got to
Love him.
love.
Oh,
Oh,
how
I
I
love Jesus.
Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I
Love Jesus because
he first loved me.
of me.
Dominique, you ready? Sister Dominique, do you love Jesus?
Come in.
Me? Me? Yes. Let's go. Sister Dominique,
Lord.
love Jesus.
Yes, she loves Jesus.
Are you sure you love Jesus?
I'm sure I love Jesus.
And why do you love Jesus?
I love Jesus. This is why I love Jesus because
He first loved me, that's the reason we all are to love him. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Oh, how I love Jesus. Because he first loved me. Amen. Amen. Thank you, everybody, for participating in our family song for this week. So next, we are going to be going into testimony. So we would like for anybody who has a testimony that they would want to share it now. We do ask that you keep it under it.
Can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Not too well.
Okay, so now it's time for testimonies. So we're asking for anyone who has a testimony that they would like to share it at this time, and just to be mindful to keep it under a minute. Did everybody hear me?
I heard you.
Okay.
Yes, I heard you too.
Okay. Okay, so no testimonies this time. That's perfectly fine. Panaka, do you have a testimony you want to share with us?
So many. I just don't know.
Yeah, I
which-
have one.
Okay,
there you
go ahead.
for it.
Well, within the last 2 months or so, I've had surgery on my eye and have to be back and forth to the doctor. And I went Wednesday and she said, everything is fine. So I give glory to God for that.
Amen.
So I'll still be able to see everybody when we meet again.
All right. Amen. Well, I guess I have a testimony. Since the pandemic, some things have changed for me financially. And a lot of people, some people would ask me, hey, how you going to pay your bills? And how you going to do certain things? And I'm like, God got me. I'm not worrying about it. And the entire month and the next month, all my bills are paid. No worries. No worries at all. So, yes, he is a good guy.
Amen. I have a testimony.
Go for it. Go ahead.
So, y'all know my wife is pregnant. She gonna be my baby mama soon.
That's that.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'ams. Yes,
Lord have
ma'ams.
mercy.
Anyhow, so we've been tracking her blood pressure, and it's been kind of up and down, mostly on the high side. So the doctor is telling us to really track it. We got a blood pressure machine, in the house. But this past week, she went to the doctors, and they were very surprised to see how healthy her blood pressure was this time around. So there was a lot of celebration there. I specifically was happy to see the change. So that's my testimony, and I would also like to ask that you guys pray for us, especially throughout this process, that her blood pressure stays down, and that is all.
Awesome. Well, we will definitely keep you both in our prayers because we want you to have a very safe pregnancy, safe and healthy pregnancy.
Okay, so now we're gonna go right into our program. First, we're gonna show a quick video. I think Wilkie, you can go ahead and show the video. Oh, sorry. Did anybody else have any more testimonies? I apologize. Oh, we're good. All right, so Wilkie, you can show the little video. Thank you.
We are
the class of 2020.
a class that has persisted through the unthinkable.
We were born in the wake of 9/11.
We have no memory of the world before that tragedy.
We were only toddlers when mega companies like YouTube and Facebook first began.
And we grew up alongside the rise of smart technology.
We entered elementary school at the peak of the stock market crash.
We entered middle school after the Boston Marathon bombing.
And we entered high school when mass shootings became normal.
We grew up in the era of High School Musical,
Webkins, and silly bands.
We have embraced the popularity of fidget spinners,
checkered vans,
and TikTok.
But nonetheless, through every hardship and success,
we've gotten stronger.
We've stayed positive.
And we have grown. How?
I've stayed positive by focusing on my physical health and enjoying every moment with my family.
I've kept the thought in my mind that I will be able to do the things I love again.
I have found the kindest people and the best friends and held them close.
I've stayed positive by remembering the blessing of the amazing experiences and friendships I've made during high school.
I've stayed positive through this time period because I've had a chance to reflect back on all the amazing memories and friendships I've created.
I've stayed positive during this time by pursuing my art, which is making music and jewelry.
I've stayed committed to my academic goals, and I will continue to push myself to be the best I can be.
I've remained focusing on the future and exciting myself for the next 4 years that are ahead of us.
And me? Well, I've just been doing some spare reading to pass the time.
Just like you.
We are experiencing the devastating effects of COVID-19.
Milestones that we have looked forward to for a lifetime
are being taken away from us.
Across the world,
we have lost our final sporting events,
musicals,
senior ditch days,
club meetings,
time with friends and mentors,
and some even prom and graduation.
Our final days of senior year
will forever be remembered in quarantine
instead of classrooms.
We beg you
to be a part of the solution.
Flatten the curve.
Wash your hands.
Stay out of the public.
social distance.
And together,
we can end this chaos.
We all have suffered.
And we are all still uncertain.
But together,
we will overcome this obstacle.
We will make special memories.
We will be stronger.
And we will get stuff done.
We are future doctors,
future politicians,
future teachers,
future actors,
future CEOs,
and future athletes.
We are the class of 2020.
We are the class of 2020.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Wookie. So as you can see, our program is going to be about our class of 2020. I watched several videos about different seniors kind of down about not being able to end their year the right way. Well, consider the traditional way of going to graduation, prom, homecomings, having different things, just preparing for the next 4 years of their life. Just getting ready for the next 4 years of their life, because after high school, life changes for them. So we decided to have this platform, this AY focus on our seniors and kind of give them advice and different things that are going to happen that they should look forward to. Like, this is not the end for them. And so first we're going to get to know our seniors a little bit. So we have a couple seniors on here right now that's going to go ahead and introduce themselves, and we're going to ask them a couple questions. And if you have a question you want to ask any of our seniors, please put it in the chat box or send it to us privately. If you want to be a part of this AY, be a participant, even on Kahoot, and you're watching on YouTube, make sure you log into Zoom so you can be a part. Oh, Ring Central meeting if you're going on your phone. So once again, if you want to be a part of this AY, because I know it's like a little delay on YouTube, and you want to play Kahoot or even ask one of our singers any questions, please log into Zoom or Ring Central meeting. So, all right, that's the end of our program. We have a lot to cover. All right, so first, let's go ahead and
Let us know what your name is, your age, the high school that you currently attend, the college that you're hoping to attend if you are planning on going to college, and if not, your plans afterwards, and what you're planning on majoring in. So any one of our seniors to go ahead and turn on your speaker and video and introduce yourself, my seniors.
Okay, so go ahead, Prophet. Junlin, you can start first.
Hi, my name is Jude. Man, they got me on the camera, the TV. Okay.
Yes, yes, we need you all on the camera.
Okay. My name is Jude Prophet. I am a student of Miami Union Academy, 7th Adventist School. I'm 18 years old, and I plan to go to the University of Oakwood. And my major right now, I'm gonna major in political science / public policy, and I want to minor in communications. And my plans after college is, I'm looking to start my own, law firm, after law school and stuff.
All right.
Okay. So any of my other seniors, and again, if I can get all my seniors to turn on your video so that we can see you. Any of my other seniors?
What's it called? What's it called? My name's LaRona Bryan. I'm 18. I graduated from SBS at Wilson. College. Oh, I'm going to Florida State University, and I'll be going there, starting to major in psychology, but I'm not really sure. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay. Nice. Welcome to our AY. Welcome. Go ahead, Dayaj.
My name is Dayaj. I didn't graduate yet, but I go to Miami Union Academy. I plan on going to Oakwood University to study nursing.
All right. Okay. Nice.
Evan? Love your background.
I'll be having this for school. My name is Kevin Dennis. I attend Miami Union Academy. My goals, I want to become a lawyer, so I'm gonna do that through the National Guard, and I will be attending Eastern Gateway Community College in Ohio from home. And my future goals is to become a defense attorney.
Okay. Nice, thank you, Kevin.
And Jennifer.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Philistine. I go to, wait, hold on. I need to see okay, I go to School for Advanced Studies. I'm 17 years old. I'm going to Williams College, and I plan on studying sociology on the pre-med track.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. We have any other seniors on here? Am I missing anyone? I don't think so. We have some. I'm so proud of our seniors.
Seriously, I'm loving these majors. I mean, I feel a little left out since none of y'all want to get into it.
Nobody, okay. We don't have time for math, okay? I need to count my money and that's it.
Anyway, so we are going to get right on into these questions to our seniors, okay? So the first question we're going to ask is for Ayaj. We'll start with you. Can I have you express or describe your senior year in 3 words?
Stressful, long, and stressful, long, and meaningful.
Okay. Kevin, same question. Describe your senior year in 3 words.
My senior year in 3 words. Exciting. It was Wow. Okay. Emotional. I'm very emotional. And that's really it. I don't even have a third word for it. It was just exciting and emotional, honestly.
Forget it.
What about fun? Was it fun?
Was it fun? Yeah. So
Okay,
that's why it was
we can
exciting
go with
because it
that
was
one.
fun.
We take that one.
Jennifer, you next. Describe your senior year in 3 words.
So for me, I would say enlightening, stressful, but also enjoyable.
Okay.
All right.
Juju.
My senior year, I like how the sun hit my face though. All right. My senior year, it was unfinished, it was growth, and it was family.
Ooh, I like that.
I like the honesty.
Okay,
Also.
Nirvana.
What's it called? So my senior year was fun. It was tiring and rare.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
You're right.
Rare. Let's see. So the next question we want to ask our seniors,
what's the most challenging part of your senior year of high school? Period.
High school in general, not just your senior year. What was your most challenging part in your high school experience?
Oh, okay. Staying on top of my work and like being wrong choice of words. Like having, like trying to remain motivated because sometimes you want to give up, and that was kind of difficult to keep on going. But the people around me helped me to just keep going, not to just stop.
Okay. Any of my other seniors, what was the most challenging part of your high school experience?
What's it called for me? Oh wait, let me video that too. All right, so for me, I would have to say like junior year, because that's like the SAT, that's like prep, like making sure your resume and everything is all cute, like doing whatever you can in order for the college app season. Like I think that was pretty stressful.
Okay. Good point.
Okay.
For me,
go ahead, Jennifer, and then Juju, you'll be next.
Okay. So for me, I think the actual process of applying to college.
Okay. Juju, go ahead.
For me, it was, staying on top of everything, being in so many different stuff, like the Honor Society, essay, team, debate, and stuff.
We can't hear you, Juju.
Oh, I said staying on top of everything, being in so many different things. It was kind of, you had to be really responsible to be on top of everything, your classes, Honor Society, team, basketball team, essay, stuff like that. And another challenge for me personally was getting to school on time. I get there about like 20, 30 minutes late, because I live like so close and stuff. So, yeah, I just got there real late.
Yeah, I can testify to that one. I'm dropping off Kyla, Juju's leaving the house. She was on time too. Most times. Carry on.
Kevin.
Go ahead, Kevin.
What was your most challenging part of your high school experience?
The most challenging thing for me in high school was really staying on top of my work. I'm not a procrastinator, but it's just that like when I'm so close to being finished, I just stop, and I just get distracted. Like everything in the world just like a small thing could just stop me from doing my work. So that was really stressful for me because I'll end up being late on assignments and then they'll be logged, and it was just crazy.
Okay, nice.
Okay. So this is we're gonna start with you again, Kevin. So the next question is, do you feel or think that high school prepared you for college?
Yes, wholeheartedly, yes. Even though teachers was, just giving us a little leeway, they was really on us about like how college is gonna be. They was giving us like college, I wouldn't say college questions, but questions that require more critical thinking that you have to use in college. So yeah, it prepared me.
Okay, so Jennifer, do you feel like your high school prepared you for college?
Generally, yeah, I do. In some topics more so than others. I think for my humanities classes, so like English or like the social studies, then definitely, yeah. But for the math classes, I feel like wholly unprepared, especially since I'm going to be in the same classes with people who are like, I don't know, who've had more experience in the math than me or who had better teachers. I feel in that aspect, I'm unprepared. But for everything else, generally, yeah.
Okay.
I do.
What about you, Dayaj?
Yes, I do think so, because at school, like Kevin said, they would just give us so much work, and we would say that we can't do it, but they would tell us that, oh, this is how it's going to be in college. You guys are going to have to get used to it. So that the teachers made a way to train us into having a certain mindset to be ready for college.
What school do you go to again?
Miami Union Academy.
Wow, I'm hearing a lot of great five-star reasons to go to Miami Union.
Yes, Miami is great school.
Wow. All right.
Okay, so we're gonna go to our next question, and we're gonna start off with Juju on this one. What are you most grateful for? I'm sorry. What was the most rewarding part of high school?
Rewarding. Like you mean like what's the most I got out of it?
Most rewarding. What the community service, the choir, the teachers, the overall experience, the friendships was the most rewarding part to you?
Okay, it was definitely the family experience I had over there. Like I could say that in my high school, I was friends with everybody. I'll be talking to everyone at lunch, and then my team and stuff. We would travel. Our choir, we would travel, and it's like every activity we had, every performance, everything we would do to go out to other states and stuff. It just grew our bond for each other. So it's like, they're not just classmates, or they're not just people in other grades that you never have experiences with, because you start to have experiences with a lot of people in the same high school as you, and I'll never forget that. The friends you make, the family atmosphere, all that was the most rewarding experience.
Okay, nice one.
Okay. Niabana, what is your most rewarding thing about high school?
What's it called? My most rewarding one was like doing community service, like at the Bola Child Care Center. It's not that far from church or whatever, but I got to do it with my best friend, and it was funny because some of the kids were cute, and some of them were there. Yeah.
All right.
I get it. I like it.
All right, so we have a really quick question for one of our viewers and members. Please ask, what is your purpose in life?
What do you feel your purpose in life is?
What do you think your purpose in life is? Not what you feel.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone can answer that question?
We'll start off.
Well, you know what? Let me give you my little experience in high school really quick to that question, and then again, maybe give you an example of what we're looking for. When I graduated high school, I thought my purpose was to play sports and become a sports agent. So that was my purpose. Definitely wasn't, but I thought it was. Sports was something that I really I love, passionate about. It was my yeah. So what about you, Kevin? Kevin.
Ma'am?
What about you? Life purpose.
My purpose in life? I think my purpose, like honestly, I think my purpose in life is to like bring people together because I'm a very outgoing person, so I can use that to like bring people together, get people on one page, and like I don't know, just find some way to bring everybody as a whole. You know what I mean?
Okay, yep. You know what, Kevin? You definitely have a great personality. I agree. And what about you, Dayaj? What do you think your purpose in life is?
I don't really have an answer to that question.
Okay, that's fine. That's perfect.
That's a legit answer.
That's a real answer. The real answer.
Okay, so we have another question, and this is going to be for all of you to answer. Well, anyone who wants to answer from our seniors. What is one thing you would change about your high school experience,
if
any, outside of this whole COVID situation that's going on? So besides, everything kind of being cut short because of COVID, what's something that you would want to change about your high school experience?
Jennifer, you can answer that question first.
So for this one, I would say like maybe caring more about schooling for my first couple years of high school, because I know freshman and sophomore year I wasn't really like on top of my stuff, and by the time junior and senior year came around, it was too late to like really change my GPA and stuff like that. So I would probably like focus more on that in the beginning.
Okay, yeah, most definitely. What about you, Nabana?
What's it called? Like for me, I think I would like change like studying for the SATs to get a higher score, so maybe got into a different school. So
okay, yes, yeah, most definitely. And Jojo, I'm sorry, Julian. What about you?
What's one thing I could change?
Outside of the COVID.
Outside of COVID, what's one thing that you would have changed about your high school experience?
I don't think there's much I would change.
I can't hear you.
I don't think there's much I would change. Well, no, I don't think there's much I would change. I had such a good time. I was having such a good time, so I wouldn't really change anything. Except the workload. Yeah, definitely the workload. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of work.
Workload. All right, I'm ask 2 more questions, and then we're going to transition into the next part. What makes you nervous about going to college? I'm gonna direct this question first to Dayaj.
What makes you the most
nervous about college? Anyways, what makes me nervous is me making friends and not trying to be alone, because I know my personality. I'm not really an outgoing person. I like to stay to myself, but also staying to myself makes me become to feel lonely. So yeah, that's one of my scared.
Wow, I love the transparency and honesty. Thank you, Dayaj. I can give you some tips on making friends. For some reason, people just like to draw to me. Go ahead, Julian.
You said me?
Julian, what's your
something that makes you nervous about college?
You said something that makes me what?
Yes. What's the one thing that you're like most scared or nervous about, that you're unsure of in going into college?
Well, I feel like the most challenging thing would be, staying true to myself and my values and my priorities and my principles. Because it's like when I go to college, like I got a lot of people that went to college and lost themselves and did different things. Yeah. So I want to be able to stay true to my relationship with God, stay true, and not lose sight of why I went there. Not lose sight of.
All right, nice. Go ahead, Kevin. Answer that question. What are you most nervous about, college or National Guard? I know you said that's what you want to do.
I'm just scared to get hurt. Like, I don't want no injuries. That's the only thing that scared me, because I had in the National Guard that around I think the 3rd week we started throwing live grenades around. I don't want no mishaps, no none of that. I just want to go in, come out unscathed.
All right,
Oh,
all
that's a
right.
legit one.
So, I want to ask you this question. What made you choose the college or university you've chosen? So what made you say, I want to go into the military?
They pay for it.
Oh, the great answer.
I get it.
Great answer. You know what? If I didn't have asthma, I would have went into the military as well. That's my story. I'm sticking with it. Hey, Ash, go ahead and tell me.
What did you choose
Repeat that question. I didn't hear it.
What made you choose, or what allowed you to think of the college you wanted to go to? Why are you picking that college?
I couldn't hear again because the connection is going in and out.
Okay.
No, I couldn't hear
it. Why choose the college you are going to go to?
Oh, why did I choose a college that I want to go to?
Yes.
Well, because it's a Christian HBCU, and I just wanted to remain closer to God. And it seemed like a place that I can be myself without being scared. So yeah.
All right, nice. I love the answer. What about you, Jennifer?
Okay, so out of all my choices, I picked Williams because I feel like that was the best fit for me. Like not only academically, but like personally, emotionally. Like I wanted to go to a small school where I wouldn't be like lost in the crowd. So my school is really small, like 1,500.
Wow.
And also like that's a strong student-teacher relationship, which is what I value also. So things like that is what made me choose the school.
Nice. What about you, Julian?
All right. So I chose Oakland University because I wanted to go to a school that had a good major program and where I could play basketball without worrying about playing on Saturdays and stuff. So, they reached out to me about it, and I felt like, their interest really stood out to me. Out of all the other schools that had interest in me, their interest really stood out to me. And me and the coach have a good relationship. So, that's what I went with.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. I'm so proud of you. Wow.
Neil, what about you? Why did you choose your college or university?
I chose my school because I like the school more itself. Like when I visited the campus and stuff, like I thought that out of the rest of the schools that I saw, that one was one that I could belong in, or I felt like I could see myself going there. If that makes sense.
Nice. Okay, so now we're gonna transition into our next part of this. Now, we got to know our seniors, and we got to know the reasons why they're choosing to go to college. And they're a little personal. We also got to get to know them a little personal, on a personal level. And our next part is about our college experience, to help them kind of take some of that anxiety away and some of the nervousness away. Sharing your experience of college. And there's some people on here that's in the college, and there's some people that are still in college. So this portion is about preparing our children the best way we can, our seniors, the best way we can, so they can be ready for college. Because honestly, we don't know what's going to happen next. Their college experience may be a little different, but it's some things that's not going to change. The work is not going to change. Time management is not going to change. The people may change, but the party is not changing. There's so many different things about college that are going to stay the same. So we would like our audience, our people that's here, to participate on this section and tell us about your college experience. So first, Janelle is going to start. In 30 seconds, she's going to tell you about her college experience.
Okay, and before I do that, I just want to say to everybody that will be answering this portion, if you can just tell us the college or university that you did go to and just say your name before you start, okay? So the first thing is I'm going to talk about the college myths that we had. And my college experience. I'm sorry.
30 seconds.
In 30 seconds. My college experience.
What college did you go to?
I did ask that. Sorry, y'all. I'm having a moment. I went to Oakland University, so I am very proud of all of you who are going. That is not a part of my 30 seconds. Calm it down. And honestly, for me, it was It was an interesting experience. There was it was an interesting experience. There was some good and some bad about it. I loved the friends and the relationships I got from it. That was the best part of it. That's mine.
I'll give you a transparent moment. I attended Brown College, and then I also attended FIU University.
Can't hear you.
Let me start again. I attended Broward College. I had a couple offers to other places, but I chose to stay home. And then I transitioned from Broward College and I went to Florida International University. In my second year of college, I got pregnant. So my college experience was definitely different from Janelle's college experience. It was extremely hard to go to school, raise a newborn baby, and work, school, baby. That was my college experience for the most part. 30 seconds. All right, let's see. Anybody want to share their college experience really quick in 30 seconds?
Sure.
Go for it, Sophie.
All right, so I'll just talk about the start of my college career. When I first graduated high school, I was in dual enrollment, so I already had my first year out of the way by the time I graduated. So my parents convinced me to go to a community college instead of going off to a four-year university because it'd be smaller. I could stay home, I could save money. If I could go back, I would not do that. However, going to a community college is not a bad idea. You save money, you don't spend as much on your first 2 years of classes that everybody has to take. Everybody has to take those first two. And after that, you go into your major. So if you decide to do a local or community college, that's not a bad idea. Maybe do it in a different city. I don't know, it's your preference. Personally, I'd make a different decision, but I listened to my parents and it did save me money.
All right, thank you.
Any of my other college graduates or college attendees?
Well, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you introduce yourself?
Oh, my name is Sheila Carrington. I did nursing in England. It was a different sort of education than they do here. But I did 4 years 4 years included regular RN nursing and 1 year of midwifery. So that was my experience, and I had a ball.
All right. Well, anybody that's in college, thank you for sharing, Sheila Carrington. Anyone else that want to share?
Yeah, I'll share. Okay, cool. It's been a long time since I've been in college, but
yeah, we know.
As an undergrad, at least, it was super spiritual. I know for the first part, that's why I changed my major and all of that. But it was also a big shift from just leaving one entire state, going into another, and not really understanding the culture. You go from, heavy listening to and experiencing gospel music to going up to a school. I went to Andrews University, and, it was acoustic guitar music. And I was like, what is this? This is not the Jesus that I know. To then, your year, 2 years going in, you singing the same songs, the songs that don't even rhyme, and it's not even repetitious anymore, So it's definitely a culture shock. That's probably the word that I was using for it. And I think my 30 seconds is up. There's so much more, but yeah, I think culture was a huge shift for me going into a university that at the time was the 6th most diverse university in the world. So they say.
Thank you for sharing, Christopher.
Go ahead, Dion.
My college experience, I did a little bit like Lanaka. Talk louder. I do Miami-Dade first. I did 2 years there. And then I went to FAU in Boca Raton. And yes, BLs. And I started having children too, but I finished like you did. So, all right. it's all right. You get it done. And I guess that's the point. You make sure that you get it done.
I only had one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We had one.
That's okay. Work, school, and what's the other one? And raising kids. I had started with one. I started with one, like you did.
Okay.
Oh,
If you had
Dion.
I didn't hear that.
Somebody else. I had somebody else that was.
Can I say something?
Chad. It was Chad. Go ahead, Chad.
What am I saying? What am I commenting on? I forgot. I just
30
chimed in.
seconds to explain your college experience.
Okay, well, I went to FIU for both my undergrad and my graduate degrees. It was a pretty good experience. What I would say to all of you who are going to college, just make sure you focus on what you're there for. I can tell you when I first got to FIU, my head was turning left and right the whole time. And I was distracted by a lot of the things that were being presented to me on campus. And I found myself slipping in grades. And eventually I came to the realization that I need to tighten up because I didn't have a big margin for error coming from a poor background. I needed to get my degree so I can get that money. So make sure you focus on what you're there for, get the grades. You can enjoy yourself, but don't lose focus. Also, for my man going to the military, my little sister went to the military, and I remember telling her to take advantage of Uncle Sam because while you're there, they're going to try to take advantage of you. All right. So get all the free degrees you can out of them. Get all the free money you can. Get that VA loan. Get every single cent you can from Uncle Sam because they're going to try to use and abuse your body to defend their political whatever. So make sure you get what you can. And that's pretty much it.
All right. Kevin, we're going to call you Dr. Kevin one day.
Hey.
Get it on. Get your PhD.
Get it.
Yes.
I think somebody else wanted to share.
Kevin, that's a cool background you have going on.
The whole
Okay, so we're going to go.
Can I offer just one piece of advice? Use Rate My Professor. Talk to the people that are already there. Like find some sophomores, some seniors, some juniors. Ask them who you should take for certain classes.
Mm-hmm.
All professors are not created equal. You don't want to end up with that one that you didn't have to end up with. I'm just saying.
You're preaching. You're preaching
right
now.
And also,
but we're gonna
rent the books. Rent the books.
Chad,
Okay,
give
so
us 1 second, Chad. Let Benet go, and then we're gonna get into that part. Go ahead, Benet.
I was told I needed to share my experience, and I will quickly. I heard that a lot of you are going to Oakwood, and I'm very happy for you guys. I'm proud of you. I will say your college experience is exactly what you make it. People's experience are different all across the board, but I had a great experience at Oakwood. There were things I wanted to do legal-wise, and I made sure I made that happen. It will be exactly what you make it. I met my husband at Oakwood, and we still riding. So just go there with all intentions on getting closer to God and doing exactly what it is you're supposed to be doing educational-wise, and you will be just fine.
Thank you for
okay,
sharing.
thank you.
Okay, so now we're gonna go into our next part of the part 3. And part 3 focus on the college, the freshman myth. And we're gonna focus on different myths that high schoolers have this mindset entering to college. So, can I take it away?
Yeah, sure. So I know one of the myths that I've heard a lot of people say is, oh, college is just a bigger version of high school. No. No, it is not. I can instantly tell y'all, anybody who told you that was lying. Was completely both-faced lying to you, because that is just.
And to give you my experience, I went at home. So I chose to go to Broward College, because I thought the same thing. No, I had the same mindset if I went to Miami-Dade. Miami-Dade College was going to be a big high school. A lot of kids were going to go from Norland. I went to Miami-Norland State High School, and they were going to go to Miami-Dade. So I thought, okay, let me go ahead and go to Miami-Dade at first, because it's going to be high school all over again, just with more time, more free time. Then I decided to go to Broward because I knew I was not going to go to class. Not at all. And that was the best decision I made, was to go to Broward, finish my classes in Broward, and catch 2 buses and go to Miami-Dade to hang out with my friends.
Where for me, that myth of it being the same is kind of something, I'll be honest with you. Even though I was a really good student in high school, honor rolled and all that other lovely stuff that I can't even remember, I'll be honest, I realized when I got to college, 1, I didn't know how to study. 2, I didn't know how to manage my time. 3, priorities, there were none. And I was pretty much a straight A student in high school. So I went from being a straight A student to literally losing my scholarship my freshman year, like not even the full year, my first semester of freshman year. It was just like, yeah, your grades weren't there, so you lost it. And then I had to like reapply to get it back. And that's when I was just like, okay, Jesus, we gotta change some things around, because it is so much stuff. Like there's just so many things that you can be a part of, and you kind of do lose your way. So that is something that I will say that wasn't there.
Yeah, do you have that mindset? Do you think college is going to be like high school? Oh, yeah. Yeah, on mute.
What was the question?
Do you think that college is going to
If I think that college is going to be like high school?
Yes.
No, that was never a thought in my head.
All right, good. Somebody trained you well. Anybody else heard that myth before? That college was going to be like high school, or thought college was going to be like high school? Look at that. We have some educated people on here. All right, we're going to go right into our next myth. I can do my work last minute and get it done on time.
People will be merciful like they were in high school.
I know Kevin was mentioning how he's a procrastinator. He will get halfway there and then he'll stop doing his work. Now, if you do that in college, what would happen?
The first class I ever failed was in college. I remember I cried because this ain't never happened to me, and I just wasn't expecting that. And that was because of my procrastination. Like I would start and be like, oh, I'm almost done. I'll finish this later. The teacher will give me an extension. No.
I was right now that had that time management issue, or had that time management issue entering into college. Nope. Anybody? I had CB's ring. He's in college.
Can you say it again, Lanaka? I didn't hear you.
Sorry. Anyone had the same issue going into college, or whoever's in college right now, about time management?
No, I love that I got a syllabus and I could see what the assignments were. So I would do them ahead of time, and I'd most times be done, and I would just have my assignments waiting to turn in.
Go ahead, girl. Power to you. That was not.
I didn't like doing homework, so I just get it out the way.
Sophie is that person you call.
Sophie, go ahead and drop your information in the chat so they can get your information so they know who to go to. I was that person. I was in the study lab, in the math lab or reading lab, any type of lab that had how to finish work. I was in the library. I was at home up late, had a 4-month baby, trying to and try to finish a paper, because I tried to have a social life, still go out and enjoy myself, but also maintain a decent GPA. So time management was something that I definitely had to learn in my undergrad.
What about anyone else who graduated or is in
Go ahead, Fritz.
So I will say I am the one nobody should follow.
I hear you.
I will say that I'm the one no one should follow, but I'll just share it because my wife told me to share it.
Go ahead, you can share.
Yes. I went to college, but unfortunately, I met a friend who liked to club. So before you know it, we started clubbing all the time. So club become my priority and school become my secondary. And I was sleeping in school all the time. And then I end up leaving school to go to club with my friend all the time, which now I'm looking back, which was dumb and stupid. I didn't go back. When I left, I'm like, I'll take a year off and I'll go back. I didn't go back until 8 years later. And it was to Kaiser University, if you understand what I'm saying. The only reason I went back is because I had a daughter now. I started thinking, how can I take care of my daughter doing security job? So I had to go back to school. I'm one of those you don't want to follow. Choose your friend wisely. Manage your time wisely. Understand why you're going to school and understand all the sacrifices that have been put for you so that you can be where you are. And that's my thing.
I'm happy you said that, because high school, you are forced or mandatory to go to high school. When you enter into college, nobody is there to tell you, hey,
make sure to get this assignment.
Make sure you go to class.
Make sure to wake up and go to
assignment.
class.
Just getting up and going to class is not a mandatory thing. You volunteer to go to college, so just be mindful. So my thing is, what is the solution to time management? In three suggestions, three ways. How can we manage time in college? How can our seniors manage time in college?
Has already graduated.
That's so cool. Okay, well, I think one way to do it is you have to figure out what works for you. If a whiteboard works where you write out when your assignments are due, or a calendar for when things are due, then you put it a few days before it's due, or maybe the week before, so that you can always see where you're supposed to be for your classes. Maybe it's electronically, I don't know, but you have to figure out if it's a reminder on your phone, if it's something written down. Definitely use the resources on campus. If you struggle with math, go to the math lab and get help early. Don't wait until you get kind of waist deep, and then the ground will fall underneath you, and then you in the deep end. So don't do that to yourself. If you have a hard time writing, you get your first assignment back and it's marked up and you never had it marked up before, go to the writing lab. Be like, I used to get A's in high school. I don't know what's going on in Comp 1. And they will help you form your papers right. And then just, do that. You have to invest, because really it's your investment in your own education. They're not going to chase you down. They're not going to be like, hey, you haven't been in class. They're just going to look at you. Okay, well, you better go work it out. So.
All right. Thank you for sharing. Go ahead, Shad. Okay.
Well, I'll go.
Jennifer, but give me 1 second. Jennifer, tell me one way you're planning to manage your time in college. Jennifer?
Yeah, I'm here. I guess something I can do would be, as she was saying, just to write down my assignments, because that's not something I really do right now. It's mostly like they assign something and I'm like, okay, I remember it, and then I say I'm gonna do it at home, but then eventually I forget. So I guess for college, I had to make sure I discipline myself to write it down as soon as I get the assignment, so that way I don't rely on my memory, which is not that good.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, Fritz.
No, I say choose your friend wisely. There's gonna be that's come out there to waste your time. You gotta choose your friend wisely. Second, you have to have people that hold you accountable. Choose an accountability partner. Somebody will tell you what you want to hear, not what you have to hear. There's gonna be plenty of friends that tells you what you want to hear. You have friends that tell you what you have to. When you're messing up, say, girl, you are messing up. Boy, you are messing up. And also choose a Christian friend. Somebody will pray for you, pray with you. That's not gonna put you down. That's not gonna put your business out there. But when the low get low, they're gonna pull you aside. They're gonna pray for you. They're gonna pray with you. They're gonna give you wisely counsel.
I never really struggled with the time management as far as not really caring, but a lot of it for me was perfectionism. I was the person, and some of you are going to be like this too, that I would rather do it perfect, whatever it is, the essay or whatever, and then send it in knowing I get a B, even a C, but know I got it. Like I licked it versus just sending in 80% of the joint. Perfectionism, kill that. That is one of the time consumers for a lot of you that are trying to manage your time. If I could do it all over again, I'd follow Sophie's advice. I didn't use Google Calendar or something to put everything on one board. And I think back in the day, they didn't have a Google Calendar. We literally just took the syllabus almost every day, right? For those 3-4 classes that you had, and you just looked at them and see what was due. And then you made note of the ones that were, that were really important. The other thing is procrastination. For those of you who are creative, it gets the juices flowing. So it was like for me, it was like an intentional waiting just so that I can finish at the last minute too. So it was weird. If I wasn't the perfectionist, I was a procrastinator. Some of y'all know, Sophie, you know this. Like it came to the point where I knew that it was due at 8 a.m. and 10 that night. I went ahead and just licked it. Now here's the key, right? All of you are intelligent. So the majority of you, if you know you can write, if you know you can think, you're gonna do that. It's tempting to do it, and it's a rush. Like it's one of those things where it's you just love the fact that you can just pull it off in the last 4 hours and like, yo, bruh, I just killed it. When you get older, life is not going to work like that. As a matter of fact, I'm doing a graduate program right now, and that's what I try to avoid, because there's other things that are going on in your life. So whatever you practice in college now, more than likely you'll practice at the job or the career that you choose. So perfectionism and procrastination, like those for me were the two tensions that caused me to not have the best time management at some point. So if you guys can manage that, and I'm talking especially for you guys that are really smart, you may think that you can kill it, but you will have that teacher who will kill you, and they think that it's the only class that exists. I'm telling you. So if you space it all out, you'll be all right.
Great advice, Chris.
I would like to comment on that. I'm so sorry to interject.
That's Brandon. Hold on one moment, Brandon. We wanted to ask Neovana, what are some time management skills that you are going to be bringing with you into your college experience?
What's it called? I pretty much just think that having an agenda and being able to write down what I'm doing every day, and having a set time to do stuff, because I'm not very organized like that right now. And I know in college I can't be like how I was in high school, all this procrastination, it can't be the same way. So what's it called? Hopefully doing that, planning out the times that I'm going to be able to be doing.
Brandon.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I was the OG of procrastination. I was the dude that was just finishing up his paper as he's entering class. I would sit way in the back to the corner, and while they're, the teacher's doing his preambles, I'm just writing away furiously. And just as he's saying, everyone is ready, send in your thing, I'm finishing at that moment. And I'm like, yeah, I did it, but what I found out is your best work actually happens when you have some time to really prepare your paper, think about it, reflect, study your references, stuff like that. And even though you get a B or whatever, or you happen to escape judgment, and you actually get a passing grade on whatever it is you wrote down or studied for. I mean, for whatever it is you got for the lack of preparation that you put together, imagine how much better you could have done, how much greater your paper could have been if you have actually put some work into it. So the more work you put into the thing, I mean, it compounds on itself. You'll show up better for your tests. You'll show up better for your studying, and it's just compounding one to another until you finally get into the real world. So, yeah, don't procrastinate.
Oh, thank you, Brandon. Go ahead,
Shelby.
Kind of off topic, but I feel like it's important if you're going to a non-Adventist university, because I go to Florida Atlantic University. I feel like it's important for those who don't go to an Adventist university to find an Adventist church for them, so they can have an Adventist group of friends. Because sometimes it's hard to find a club at your university that you fit in with, or find a group of friends right away at your university. So it helps to find a church nearby that you can go to, and you can find a group of friends that fit your values and your beliefs.
All right, thank you, Shelby. And you know what? We're gonna talk about spirituality actually coming up, but we talked a lot about papers. One thing about time management in college, group discussions, group assignments, presentations. Time management matters during that. During those, a lot of. I mean, when I was in college, we did a lot of group assignments, papers and group assignments, and just kind of get other people to be on your same page with you when it came down to group assignments was definitely hard. So keeping up with the kids in your class and the notes, all of that stuff will help you with managing your time as well.
And I'm just going to add one more thing to that as she brought up the group assignments, because even in those groups, everyone in your group ain't trying to pass it. Everybody in your group is not on your same level. Everybody doesn't care. I was an engineer major, and I remember one of closer to my ending courses, I had a group that was of 5 people. And out of this group, only 2 of us did, all the work for everything. And my teacher was that type of teacher to be like, I don't care who does it. It needs to get done or else you fail. And I remember having to be hard on my group members. And my group members range in age. I had a 50-year-old, a 30-year-old, somebody who was in his 60s because of work. And for when I have, group members who come in and like, school's not my priority. My priority is I still have to get food for my family. I still have to go to work. I have to still do all this. And for me, I'm like, but my priority is school and I need to pass this class. So I need y'all to do your part. And for me to be like, oh, I'll just go to my professor about it, for my professor to be like, figure it out. I don't care. Like, that's your business. You just need to get that assignment into me. So it gets rough.
Basically, if you know you're going to have a group assignment coming up, make sure you pay attention to who is in your class and who will be great
to be in your group when you get to choose your group members rather than being assigned to you.
Exactly. That goes right into our next setting priority. I mean, you think you're going to college, you're free, you're fun, you're gonna have fun, you're gonna meet new people, you're gonna explore different things.
Which it is.
Which it is. The myth is everybody who's around you is not gonna be your friend. Everyone who is in your class, just like Chris was saying earlier, are not your friends. They are here for different reasons. Some of them, they may pass with an A by luck or because you're super smart. You may be different. You have to know yourself. So what are some ways, and I know we kind of touched on it, how do you set your priorities? How do you know what should go first? And for me, when I was in school, it wasn't spiritual. It wasn't a spiritual aspect of it. It wasn't going to church. I went to church, but that wasn't my first priority in school. My first priority in school was making sure I get good grades. That was my first one. Making sure I get good grades. So if I need to go to the library on a Saturday, or I need to go finish an assignment on Friday night, I was going to do it. So how do you set your priorities, or what should your first priority be?
I'll throw this one out.
Can I interject?
Yes.
When you talk about that question of, spirituality, I think one of the first things that we need to remember when we go to college is that God is the one who has allowed us to make it that far. And without him, we wouldn't be there in the first place. So we have to maintain that same way that when you're at your parents' house, you go to church, you have Friday night worship, and, you go to AY, whatever the case is. It's so important to keep that up. But now the difference is nobody's going to be poking you and prodding you to tell you, hey, get up, you need to go to church. Now it has to be your own personal decision and your own personal conviction to whether you're going to keep up that spirituality. And college is definitely an important milestone in deciding whether you're going to continue on that path of Christianity or you're going to go another path. I would encourage young people to stay faithful to Christ, to continue going to church, continue reading your Bible, draw closer to him, because in that period of college, there's so many distractions out there. There's so many things that can throw you off. There's boys, there's girls, there's parties, there's frats, there's clubs, whatever it is, so many things that can distract you. But if you keep your focus on God, he will help you keep your focus on the important things. He'll help you maintain that calendar. If you have a problem with, prioritizing, you can pray, you can ask God, that's not my strong suit. Maybe you get a calendar. Maybe, you do things a little bit differently than your friends. Maybe you don't hang out every night. You make those conscientious choices that when it comes time for Friday night, you're shutting everything down and you're enjoying the rest that God has blessed you with. And believe it or not, when Saturday night comes, if you have to study, or Sunday morning, you'll be so much more rejuvenated because you've taken that time to rest and to spend time with Christ.
All right, nice. Kevin, can you tell me some of your priorities and when you go to the military or to college? I know you say you are going to college.
When I'm in the military, I'm not really sure exactly how it's gonna be at, because I've been watching people's videos on like their different experiences. But it seems like besides your daytime training, it sounds like at night, I'll have, I can pray in the morning, pray in the evening, and I can keep a devotional, I think. But I just heard that the drill sergeants are like very aggressive, and they like to kind of go over your privacy a little bit. So, I don't think I'm gonna mind like picking and teasing for reading my Bible. I don't think because I rub off things rub off me really easy. Like I can just brush them off. But when I go to college, since I'm gonna be home, it's gonna be same. I wouldn't say same old, but I guess I just have to balance everything, because I know with the National Guard we have to go out on weekends, and that's gonna be kind of an interference. But as long as I put the measures before I go, I'm pretty sure everything could balance out the way God wants it to be.
All right, thank you for sharing. Jennifer, what about you? What's the question? I don't remember the question.
So for me, my priority, I think, is gonna have to be staying rooted in my faith to God, because I know there are many aspects to college that I'm looking for, intellectual growth, finding a personal space. But I feel like if I stay close to God, then all those things will come after, and they'll come easier than if I made those my priorities instead.
All right, thank you for sharing. Julian, what about you? You still on here? Yes, not.
My priority for college is, not changing for anyone, not, being different, or not allowing myself to lose sight of who I am and where I came from.
All right, thank you. So setting your priorities is number one on your college to-do list, in a sense where, yes, I know what major I know what I want to study. Maybe. Oh, that's another myth. You think you know what you want to study until you go to college. And then you take that one class and you're like, am I sure about this? I know for me, once I went into college, my first major was pre-med, physical therapy, sports medicine, all of that great stuff. And then I had one chemistry class. And I'm like, let me go ahead and take a career assessment and see what else I can do, because this is not it. So
I can honestly say that likewise, that was me. For me, when I chose my first major, it was just I'm good in math, so I guess I'll do accounting or finance. I didn't last in that class more than a week, and I dropped the whole major and all the classes with it. I went into, anybody going to Oakwood, you're gonna know this name, and it's the CAS building. That's the career academic building. That's where they do tutoring and all that stuff that you will need. Any type of help that you need for free, that's where you go. And I went there, and I instantly was just like, yeah, this is not what I'm trying to do. What can I do? And they were like, oh, so what do you want to do next? I'm like, I don't know. And I went undecided until my junior year. And that's when I picked my major, my junior year, which is crazy. But I mean, now I love my engineering degree. So Jesus worked it all out, because leaving it up to me,
So what you should also remember is just because it's difficult, it doesn't mean that that's not what you are supposed to do. So there are a lot of us that have taken anatomy and chemistry, hated it, but at the same time, you will more than likely have that one class that's like the bane of your existence. You just hate it, but you have to go through it in order to be able to appreciate and to love and to have a deeper passion for what you want to do. Because if it's easy, why even bother, right? So yeah. And that also, here's the other thing. If you have that one course that's difficult and you're able to overcome it and still be able to succeed, then when you actually get to your career, like the actual job, and you have that one project, you've got that one employer that's difficult, you're not going to drop it like you dropped your class, but you got to be mindful, because those courses also can be very well an indication that it ain't for you. So really be prayerful about it, because just because it's difficult doesn't mean you're supposed to switch. But at the same time, if it's difficult and you don't like it and you realize, wow, this is just not who I'm wired to be as, or what I believe God wants me to do, then yeah, go ahead and go to CAS.
Thank you for sharing. I know we had one question that actually maybe along these lines. I know in high school, it was easy for us to, have our friends give us answers on a test or an assignment. Some people will call it cheating. So we're gonna call it borrowing material that's not ours. I'm like, okay, cheating. All right, so and I know in high school it's easy for you to cheat in high school, but in college, because maybe you didn't study or whatever reason, you find yourself thinking about cheating. So should you cheat in college?
No. The answer is no. Sorry, I didn't mean to think about that, y'all. I had a freezer at my moment there. No, it's never good to cheat. And not just because it's wrong to do, but also because some teachers will make sure that the person who's surrounding you has a different test from you. So
that's not always true, but you can get expelled from
you
school.
Can get expelled.
You may have to retake the classes cheating. I know they have different protocols for cheating. So some kids, if you get caught cheating, you may have to write a 10-page paper on single space on why you shouldn't cheat in college. So
others, you just get cut.
That big advice, the great
don't
advice.
Do it.
Don't do it. If you know you didn't study this Christmas tree and try again next time. Talk to your teachers. Communication in college is definitely a key. Talk to your teacher. If you have something going on in your personal life or something happened, let them know, because a lot of teachers, professors, I should say, are very open and understanding.
Had a really, really close relationship with your professors, honestly. That's one thing I can definitely say was a takeaway.
Okay, and then we kind of touched on spirituality, and I know a lot of kids, myself included, when I was in college, church and going to church and stuff wasn't a priority, and we kind of talked about it as well. And even people who went to the Christian colleges,
it wasn't a priority.
It wasn't a priority. Like Saturdays was your time to sleep in, which we understand. Go to church. Go to church.
Oh, every time. Like, you're tired, you don't want to hear people singing, you don't want to hear the announcements that they want to do, you don't want to hear the fluff of the children's story, you don't want none of that. All I want to hear is go to church. Just go. Like, just go. That's honestly all that I can say, because I did the whole union thing for all my unionites who are now going to be going to Oakwood. I did it, and I had that time period of, yeah, Jesus, no, I'm good. I don't want to do this. And it showed. It showed in everything else in my life. Everything got affected by it. And me just being like, okay, God, clearly me doing my own thing wasn't working out. So let's go back to doing you. And it was an instant turnaround, honestly, for me. So
we want to wrap this portion up really quick. Beaj, tell me one thing that you would definitely do differently when you go to college. Go.
You said, wait,
One thing that you will do differently when you go to college.
One thing different that I would do when I go to college is to not procrastinate. That's for one. And that was honestly
That's it.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
my only problem. So yeah,
All right.
just not procrastinate.
You know what? If you need help with procrastination in college, definitely we're going to set up our buddy system. If anybody's interested in being a buddy to one of our college seniors, our seniors, definitely put the information, your name in the box. We can come up to you. When they're in college and they're having a hard time, you can send them words of encouragement. Not only their parents going to be there for them, but they also need that support outside of college. So if you're interested, definitely put your name in the box and we will link you up to one of our seniors. All right, Kevin, one thing you're going to go ahead and take into college. It's something different. Is the question? Yeah.
One thing that I'm going to take into college is a more... It's like a personality change. Not really a personality change, but like as in, I'm just going to take everything for the seriousness that it is, because at times I have troubles like recognizing the severity of some situations. So I'm just I need a come to realize moment to see, and settle down and say, hey, this is what I need to do, this is what I gotta do, and I'm gonna make sure it gets done.
All right, perfect. Thank you for sharing. Go ahead, Jennifer. One thing you're gonna do differently in college.
So I guess one thing I'm gonna do differently is like I'm gonna try and put myself out there more, because I'm not a really extroverted person. Like I will not go up to you and introduce myself. So in high school, like that wasn't really a problem because I always had people who came up to me instead. But I guess for college, I want to be that person who actually is proactive and goes and makes friends like themselves.
Okay. Julian, what about you? What's one thing that you will do differently in college?
One thing I'll do differently in college is definitely choose the right people that I want surrounding me, the right friends, the ones I know that will lead to my growth and my success.
Okay, perfect.
And Neo, where are you at? And Nirvana, what about you? What's the one thing that you will do differently in college?
Differently in college. I mean, because someone already said it, but the procrastination and really trying to organize myself is one of the main things. Because I don't want to slack off in college. I don't want it to be like high school. I want to actually be able to put my focus and put my mind on it and get through it and get done.
All right, perfect.
And so I'm just going to say one thing about the procrastination thing, just because y'all are not the only ones that have struggled with it. Many people have already talked about their struggle with it. But the one thing that I will say will help you in practicing to get over that procrastination is stuff that you do now, putting that stuff to putting it in your calendar on your phone now, this event that you have, this whatever that's due, you making stuff now, practicing it now, so that it's not oh, I'm just going to practice it when I get to school, because that's not going to do anything. So practicing it now in whatever little things it is, hey, somebody asked you to be on an AY, hey, somebody asked you to do this, put it in your calendar, make sure you are mindful of that. So at this time.
So I want to thank everyone for their feedback, advice, participation. Everyone, you guys did a great job. Our seniors, I know this is something that you're not used to doing, but I appreciate you guys.
We're
thank
super
you.
proud of you.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all the
this
feedback. I mean, the responses was mind blowing. I'm glad that you guys are going to put God first. Now, that's number one first. And we're going to go right into our Vespers. Definitely, they have some really good messages and replies and questions in the chat. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to get to you. We may have to have a part 2, or just call these kids one-on-one. Just call them and talk to them about the different things that you feel like they need to know going into college and their 4 years in college and even after college. So we're going to go ahead and throw the mic to Christopher Simmons for our Vespers.
Before you do that, can I say something?
We have 30 seconds. Go.
Get with the kids, call them, send them a little monetary gift now and then. They will need it.
I'm happy you said that. Please, kids, drop your Cash App in our message box. We definitely want to give you guys a graduation gift. So make sure you put that in the message box and or phone number or something. So we definitely can bless you.
Contact with you.
All right, go ahead, Chris Simmons.
Okay, how you guys doing? I gotta say, this has been great. Everybody that's been in here in this forum, students, really make sure you take heed to the wonderful advice that's been given to you. I really particularly want to talk about Alexis's point. That was huge. You know, when you build good habits here at school, here at home, when you were in high school, you got to take those things with you to college, because I promise you, the temptation is real. Regardless if you go to an Adventist school, you will have to make some choices. So whatever you do here, going to church Friday night, AY prayer meetings, whatever, try to follow that with you, take that with you to university and college, because that's going to be a definite game changer in your Christian walk. So shout out to all of you with your points. That was really good. I'd like to ask if you guys can not unmute yourself, but I would like to see some of the high schoolers, their faces, as I get ready to share some words with you. If you can just unlock your video screen just so that I can see you, it'll be great. I would just love to see you guys. So high schoolers, you guys are literally the TGIF generation, the Twitter, Google, Instagram, Facebook, and you can throw in there Snapchat and TikTok. That's your generation. Listen, with all the access to other people's lives and through the social media feeds that are available, FOMO has become a serious thing. Yes, what is FOMO? Fear of missing out. FOMO is why you check your social media accounts literally every 10 minutes as though something's even changed. FOMO is why online shopping and Amazon is the #1 company in the world, and it's eliminating in-store business because prime shipping is the truth. Do I have a witness? Somebody. You see, we don't want to miss out on anything. Yet, with all the access that we've been given and that this virus has not taken away, which is our devices, we are still struggling with what we've learned with face-to-face access, because that's the one thing that can never be replaced. For our high schoolers, face-to-face access meant basketball games. It meant band practices. It meant full classrooms. It meant workout facilities. It meant movie theaters, birthday parties, hanging out at the mall, hanging out in your school hallways, teacher office hours, prom night, and yes, even graduation. So now the real FOMO, the real fear of missing out, is the accessibility to each other, which is what we took for granted in the first place. But young people, despite that fact that you may feel like you're missing out on the things that have been and should be daily experiences for everybody, do not be discouraged. The fact that we are here now together means that there have been provisions made despite the circumstances that we're facing. You see, Rona has unlocked some things that have been present, but we would never have tapped into it without it. You see, the ability to communicate and learn remotely at this kind of rate has been a tool that I would pray every young person uses to their advantage. Distance learning is not ideal in any way, but it can have great reward for the student who embraces it. You see, distance learning has forced students to work independently. Distance learning has forced students to learn independently, has forced students to research independently, collaborate virtually, and study more intently. Again, it's not preferred, but it's reality. And the students that can embrace it will be the ones with the advantages. The advantages of, like we heard so many people say, not procrastinate. The advantages of having better focus. The advantages of consistent task completion without needing to be watched or supervised by your teacher. In other words, you've been given an opportunity to learn how to navigate life like an adult, which will fast track your ability to problem solve. And if you have the ability to problem solve, it can possibly help you land future job opportunities that would have been inaccessible to you prior due to your youth and your inexperience. I want all my young people to understand that your education during these times is more beneficial to you now than it's ever been. and gaining higher education should be your motivation and your inspiration. You see, the unemployment rate in America is at an all-time high. As of Friday, the total was 20.5 million jobs that were lost, or 14.7% of the unemployment rate in America. Most of the ones affected, I want you to hear me closely on this, most of the ones affected, okay, are the hourly employees, part-time workers, men and women who are probably the hardest workers that this nation has and has ever seen, but without their diploma or without their degrees, they're stranded. Those that have higher education are less likely to be let go. What I need you to see is that your greatest asset moving forward is the knowledge that you are able to attain and to understand. Which brings me to my last point, guys. The virus has given us no excuse or reason that we can't gain more of that knowledge through the study of God's word. If we haven't noticed, we are literally in the last days. And that is coming from a millennial and the millennial generation. Listen, I've heard this thing preached to me so much growing up, but I believe it now more than ever before. Listen, we'll turn on the news and my wife and I are like, are they introducing the chip on your hand yet? Is the mark of the beast coming? Like literally, like this is how we're looking at things. The way things have happened so rapidly is a sign of more things to come. And we as Christians have something that others need and something that others want. They need reassurance in an uncertain world through God's word. They need a last day message that is meant to be spread. And the crazy thing is, here's the crazy part. It's being spread actually faster now than when all public places were open. So when we're using virtual platforms, the message is actually going out at a faster rate. Consider Tabernacle, consider our church. Check these stats out. Before COVID-19, our Wednesday night prayer meeting, I'm looking at my mom right now, what would you say, average about 10 to 20 people? Less? 8. She said 8. Literally, I put it at a higher number. For the most, she said 8. But now, our online version, Shad has us tracking views in the hundreds. Think about that. Our average church attendance, when you go to church at Tabernacle, it's between what, 150, 300, maybe 400? Now, people are viewing Tabernacle online worship service in the thousands. So the word is being spread faster than ever before, and young people can help particularly through the platforms that you have been using the most. You have all maybe 100, some of you even thousands of followers on social media. Let your page say more to promote our God and his message. Simple messages will go a long way in spreading God's word and his message of love and forgiveness and hope. God needs a people, particularly young people, to bring positive change and to bring God's truth. When I think of King Josiah, I don't know how many of you know about the story of King Josiah. That was an 8-year-old king, okay? I think about the kind of life that he missed out on. That kid missed out on his entire childhood experience and was forced to govern a people at a young age, all right? Think about that. But he had a purpose, and he knew that God needed him to undo a lot of the mess that his father, who was king before him, did. And he led God's people back to God. With very similar tasks, the Seventh-day Adventists have been tasked with the same thing, and it doesn't matter how old you are. You have a voice, you have a platform, you have a device, let's get it done. So remember, young people, remember high schoolers, remember seniors, although you may feel that you missed out on a very important time in your life, although you may feel that you wish you can get it back, you also gained just as much. You've gained growth, you've gained more family time, you've gained clarity, and you've been able to draw closer to God. And if you have been, you are ultimately gaining eternal life. God bless you, everybody. Love you guys. See you later.
Amen.
And time for Kahoot. I'm ready for you.
Yes, Kahoot.
I want Sophia. Because I want to be the undisputed. The Simmons family is about to be the undisputed champ. Hear me?
Oh, well. Sophie. Sophie, maybe we should allow you to play again.
That's all right. Y'all done banned me already. It's okay. Let the Simmons take over.
All right, let's just close that out, AY.
All right, guys, we want to do closing prayer real quickly. Is that before the Kahoot challenge, Janelle and
Yeah,
Renata?
let's go right now. Yeah.
All right, let's bow our heads, guys. Father God, thank you so much for this day. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here together, Lord, on this platform. It's not preferred, but it's what's reality, and we thank you for the possibilities through technology. Help every young person that's represented here this evening, Father, despite their circumstances, to help them to know that that won't be their conclusion. Schools will reopen. Opportunities will come back. Their graduations, Lord, whether it be college, Lord, it will happen, Lord. But whatever the case may be, help them to never lose trust in you and never forget that you are guiding their lives, Lord, in the way that you want it to go and not in the way that we want it to go. Let not our will, but your will be done. And help us to represent and witness for you in these times. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. And before we go into our Kahoot, please make sure you bless our youth, our seniors, with any type of gift, monetary, I guess, preferred.
You know what? They're also putting their phone numbers in
They're
here.
putting
So
their phone
just
numbers.
go ahead and save that in there just so that you can. Sorry, go ahead. Okay, mommy. But yeah, go ahead and save their numbers in your phone just so that you can be that encouragement. Because honestly, I can say the one thing that I did appreciate from my church family is that while I was away and things were getting rough, that's just when like a random person would just, whether it was just a call, just to be like, hey, we're thinking of you. Hey, we're just praying for you. For those that were able to bless me with monetary gifts, yeah, but just that call was super appreciated because it wasn't from like my normal people. It wasn't from my parents. It wasn't from my uncles and aunts. It was just from my church people. To know that they care is very, very important and nice, and a way to encourage them to stay with their priorities and keeping God as their priority when their church family makes that priority. So go ahead, save those numbers.
Go ahead and you can put up the Kahoot. Thank you.
Somebody speaking?
We can see it, and then there we go.
All right, Sherry Ann.
She's on there.
All right, perfect. Sherry Ann, take it away. Please unmute.
Okay, everyone. Hi. So it's time for our Kahoot. I know everyone's excited at home. All you have to do is just log into kahoot.it on any of your devices, laptop, phone, and type in the pin there at the top, 6655998. And we're gonna wait a couple minutes for everyone to get in.
Beat the sound. I can't.
It's friendly. It's friendly game.
There you go, play, answer the questions.
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Man, I feel like I should be able to too. That's not. They say since I made it, I can't play.
I don't know.
That's not This is not the good time.
I know the sound is I tried.
Go ahead and sing a song in your heart.
guess we can start now. I don't see anyone else joining.
All right, let's
go. Are you ready?
Okay, who were the descendants of Perez? Red, Salmon and Obed. Blue, Aminadab and Ram. Yellow, all of the above. Or green, none of the above.
Oh, there we go. 2, 1,
and the answer was all of the above. Yellow. And in the lead is I Will Try. The second question, what were the names of Elimelech's sons? Red, Malin and Killian. Give me a second, guys. Blue, Marlon and Chion. Yellow, Kylan, Kaylin, and Million. Or green, Kayan, Kyan, or Million.
I'll explain that one. Okay, I'm just gonna explain that one.
I can't hear you.
Wait, you can't hear me?
No, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
I can't explain. The reason why it has those two names is because it's spelled differently in two different versions of the Bible. So I was making sure everybody, no matter what version you read, you know, you got a familiar name.
Okay. So I Will Try is in the lead. Okay. Okay, so the third question, what did Boaz tell Ruth about working? Red, go to another field. Blue, don't bother his workers. Yellow, stay with his men. Or green, stay with the other women. Okay, and the answer is green, stay with the other women.
All right. I don't know. Oh, AJ's coming up.
I'd like to know who is I Will Try.
Who is I Will Try? I want to know.
I think that's Janelle. Boaz went to the blank to wait for the closet redeemer and got to be witness to his meeting. Red, town gate and 10 elders. Blue, city hall and 7 elders. Yellow, town door and 12 elders. Or green, community center and 3 elders. Red, town gate and 10 elders was the answer.
Good answer.
Okay, and I'm a hat the gam is in the I can't with these names. What name did Naomi tell the people in the town to call her? Red, Tara, Abigail, yellow, Mara, or green, Gomer? 3 seconds, 2, 1. Okay, and the answer was yellow, Mara. Let's see who's in the lead. Okay. Lex is in the lead, and I see Simmons clan is working their way up the totem pole right now. What harvest was beginning when Ruth and Naomi returned to Judah? Red, barley. Blue, wheat. Yellow, corn. Or green, soybeans. 3, 2, and 1. And the answer was red, barley. Okay, that's the scoreboard right now. Okay, Boaz was Naomi's family's closest redeemer. Blue, true, or red, false? And the answer was red, false.
That was close call. Where is
Lex is in the lead.
Oh, Alexis out.
Why did Elimelech and his family leave Bethlehem? Red, God told him to. Blue, great famine. Yellow, to be near his relatives. Or green, severe flooding. And the answer was blue, great famine.
Woo, that's a good one. All right, Lex is
Killing it.
fire.
Boaz said that everyone in town knows Ruth to be a what? Red, happy woman. Blue, nice woman. Yellow, virtuous woman. Or green, passionate woman. All great, by the way. And the answer was yellow, virtuous woman. And Lex is still in the lead. Question number 10. Naomi told Ruth to go to the threshing floor and lie by Boaz's feet. Blue, true. Red, false. And the answer was blue, true.
Doug.
Okay. What two harvests did Ruth take part in? Red, corn and soy. Blue, wheat and barley. Yellow, barley and corn. Or green, grapes and apples.
I like to eat. That's what I'm saying.
And the answer was blue, wheat and barley.
Oh,
sheesh.
We already know.
And the last question. The women of the town said Naomi's daughter-in-law is better than blank. Red, 10 sons. Blue, 3 sons. Yellow, 12 sons. Or green, 7 sons.
Oh, that
and the answer was green, 7 sons.
Woo!
Let's see who won.
Miss Dee.
Miss Dee. I beat the Sims.
And the winner is
It's me. Thanks to my mom and my sister.
What do your mom, Miss Dee? I don't understand.
We gotta rule the podium. Next time it's gonna be Vanessa, Lex, and Miss Dee.
Wait, so then who's beat the Sim? Who was number 2? Hey!
That's all I'm doing.
Whatever, Fritz. It was the lack of music, the no music. I wasn't enthused. We weren't enthused over here. We're like, it's not the same. It's like an NBA game with no fans.
Excuses. Don't disrespect our boxing skills.
That sounds like a lot of excuses to me.
Oh, no fans. You know what I mean?
Hello, 1 minute.
We can't hear you. Are you talking?
Go again, Naka.
Hold up. Mom. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Chris and Sophie, we're gonna do Revelation still?
Yeah, we'll do it. Fritz, are we doing chapter 1 and 2?
Chapter 2.
Just chapter 2? Okay.
No,
Revelations.
Chapter 1 and 2.
Okay, yeah. Revelations chapter 1 and 2 is what they should study.
Okay.
What did you were telling me, Naka?
Mommy, we're not on
a private call. We'll call you later.
Oh, somebody was calling me, so I couldn't hear you. Phone was ringing.
Okay, so next Kahoot, which will be in 2 weeks, Revelations 1 and 2.
Wait, Lanaka. You just asked Fritz, should it be chapters 1 and 2, which means he had a hand in creating them questions.
No.
Wait a minute.
The questions were all done by yours truly. All done by yours truly, so we can,
Fritz had input. Fritz knew about this. Dion just signaled it.
Not at all. Not at all.
But the next Kahoot will be done by both Sophie and Brandon, and our next Sophie and Fritz will be our next Kahoot, which it will be based on, again, Revelations 1 and 2. So go ahead and study that up with the family.
And if you want a little cheat answer, make sure you tune into Revelations study group. No. Study group every Saturday at 3:30. You'll get some answers there.
And if Dion win in 2 weeks, I didn't give her the answer, okay?
No, I'm not playing.
Dion don't count. All right, so any other announcements before we go ahead and leave the meeting?
Happy Mother's Day to all.
Oh, definitely happy Mother's Day to everyone. Anything else?
Yes, on behalf of Women's Ministry, I want to say thank you to the fathers for the beautiful tribute that they gave this morning. On behalf of all the women, we want to say thank you, and we want to wish happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and women who are nurturing children at Tabernacle Church and around the world. Thank you.
Also, the children's ministry also did something. I want to thank you for that one as well.
Great.
Children's ministry did a great job. Thank you, Sister Dominique. Anybody else? Any more announcements?
And on behalf of Family Life, we just want to say happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers.
Yay. Thank you. Okay. Go ahead.
So we will not be having AY until
I don't know. Oh, in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
We won't,
2 weeks. Yeah, we won't be having AY for the next 2 weeks. So the 2 weeks after that, after 2 weeks, we'll be back here.
It's a geo.
How about a date? What's the date?
May 30th. We will be back for AY on May 30th.
Oh, that's a long time.
Okay.
All right, folks. Have
a great week. Bye. Thank you all for being a part. Again, thank you everyone who was a participant. Have a great week. Bye.
All right. Bye.